Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rifts. Today we're back with a Kai'Sa updated complete guide. We haven't done Kai'Sa in a really long while now. But before we get into talking about her build, of course don't forget to check out her basic guide that I will link up in the cards above for her skills, leveling order, tips and tricks, as well as some combos. Basically, I think AP Kai'Sa as a DPS version of Kai'Sa is probably like kind of the best way to play DPS Kai'Sa. So the kind of pure AD builds like those, like the Phantom Dancer, with like Bloodthirster, Shield Bow, those kind of builds, not really the best. So some people actually came up with this very interesting assassin build that the top like 5 Kai'Sa players are all basically going for some kind of variation of this build. And I'm gonna explain it like in just a bit. But basically, I think if you want to play AD Kai'Sa, this might be the best way to do it now, which is why I think it's time for an updated complete guide. So first up, you're not going to start with boots, because with Kai'Sa you want to start off with a full item to get your Q evolved as quickly as possible. So in this case, we're going to start with Duskblade. So Duskblade, as you guys know, is basically the AD item that gives you the most damage on your first item. It gives you the most AD in the game, the most lethality in the game, as well as the extra passive to deal bonus damage on your next attack. After that, then you're going to go for Gluttonous Greaves, which is of course going to give you your Omnivamp as well as your AD. Then you're going to go into Slurry Charge Blade. Now this of course gives you ability haste and attack speed, but what you're really after here is the passive. Of course, when you use an ability, this is going to allow you to deal that bonus magic damage on attack. After that, you're going to do Magnetic Blaster. So Magnetic Blaster, again, more attack speed, and then you also of course get the extra passive for the extra range as well as the extra damage when you proc the passive. And then you go for Maul Reminder, which is going to give you, of course, the Armor Pen as well as the Grievous Wounds, obviously. And for the last item, you have 2 choices. Now, your first choice is to go for Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster, of course, gives you a lot of AD as well as sustain and bonus stats when you're high on health. Now, this is my preferred choice. The other choice you can go for is IE. Of course, you do have 3 crit items, so when you go for IE here, this is going to put you to 100% crit. But honestly, with this build, you have really little sustain, so I actually think Bloodthirster is better here and just don't go for IE in the build. So how the build works is pretty straightforward. Basically, when you dive in with your ultimate, your first auto attack is going to proc Duskblade, is going to proc Charge Blade, and is going to proc Magnetic Blaster. So that one auto attack is going to do like basically more than half the health of a squishy target. And then you combine it with your Q, you can basically try to just one-shot someone, which is why I say it's an assassin build. Now, if the guy is not one-shot, you have attack speed from here, attack speed from here, and attack speed from here. The guy is going to be like at a decent amount of stacks. Like let's say you hit a W, they're going to be on 2 to 3 stacks. You ult in, you Q, and then like 1 or 2 more, like 2 or 3 more autos is going to proc your passive. And when the passive is proc, they're definitely dead. If someone engages for you, and they put stacks on them already, the moment you dive in, 1 or 2 autos with your Q is just going to instantly kill them. That's why it's an assassin build. So, what runes do we go for? Well, of course we go for Kraken Slayer. We're trying to burst people down. We're not interested in Conqueror or Lethal Temple. We're not interested in long fights. We want to kill people instantly. So, we have the Kraken Slayer for that. 3 hits is going to proc the passive, like I said. After you go in, you auto once. If they're not dead yet, you auto twice more. You're going to proc Kraken Slayer and you're going to proc your passive as well at the same time. They're going to be dead. Brutal, of course, to increase your auto attack. Damage, you do still auto attack, of course, so you do still want your Brutal. Giant Slayer, of course, because you do the most damage with this rune. And you go for Alacrity for the attack speed. Now, honestly, you could go for the Bloodline here, because you are kind of lacking sustain a little bit with this build, because you go for Bloodthirster last and you only really have this for sustain. But in the gameplay, I did go for Alacrity. And finally, Bone Plating for the extra defensive stats. Now, there are even people in the top builds that actually go for Sudden Impact here instead for an extra 13 lethality when you ult in. Now, this is an option as well. But I personally think that this is better, because Kai'Sa's laning phase is not really the best. So having this as an extra defensive 2 in lane, really helpful. Finally, for the spells, you want to go for Flash and you go for Exhaust. Of course, with Kai'Sa, you have a lot of 1v1s and stuff, so having the Exhaust is going to be really helpful to, of course, exhaust your opponent when you're trying to kill them. So if that's it, now let's move on to the gameplay. Okay, so now we're moving into the gameplay. Now, first things first that I want to cover is, of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any questions, queries, or remarks, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to address them now. Of course, that's not what I really wanted to say. The first thing I want to cover is the fact that the enemy team is having some kind of miscommunication. Basically, they have a Tristana mid, who apparently I think wants to play ADC or something like that, because their team is having some kind of dispute, like based on their behavior. I of course don't know what's going on in the chat and what's really going on, but there's some kind of dispute here. But yeah, we don't care about that. And also the Karma is like apparently AFK for the first like few minutes of the game. So here you can see we're against Ezreal and we're 2v1. But the issue is with Kai'Sa, Leona versus Ezreal, we can't really do too much against him, because if we walk up to him, he's gonna kite us back and he's gonna pelt us with Q and auto. So we can't really go onto him until Leona hits like level 2 and she has like her EQ combo. Then we can actually look for a catch. So here Tristana, you can see, just runs in onto Ezreal's lane and apparently kicks Ezreal out of his own lane, runs straight into the Leona combo, and we're now going in. She's forced to flash. She's actually at like full stacks, but we missed our W unfortunately, and we actually spot Karma under the tower AFK. So in the meanwhile, Ezreal, who has just gone to mid lane, gets first blooded by Ziggs somehow, and here we're trying to mess with the Tristana, and Karma actually takes half of the damage of the Q because she was just in the way. And Karma is basically a free kill the moment we get this wave in. Honestly, we don't have to get the wave in for her to be a free kill. If she's just AFK under the tower, she's just going to be a free kill. So we let Leona actually go in and get a assist here. And then we finish up the kill onto Karma. So we get a freebie here. Because Karma is having some kind of connection issues or something like that. And the enemy team is obviously having some kind of miscommunication issues with the Ezreal and the Tristana like lanes and things like that. So now apparently the Tristana has just invaded the lane of Ezreal, and Xin Zhao tries to come in to save the day, but again we're now 2v2 because Karma is still AFK, and honestly at this point we were thinking that it probably is going to be a remake, but Karma actually walks back into the lane and actually now is in the game, so it's not really AFK, but she goes in with the flash W. I'm not quite sure if she's inting or if she's actually trying to make a play, because she actually does kill Leona. So I'm actually going to assume that she's not inting and she's actually trying to make a play here. So she does get the kill on Leona, trades 1-for-1, but I get the kill on the other side. And I get a plate and I don't greet too much further and I back. Thankfully though, because Xin Zhao was actually in the area, so we actually are able to prevent ourselves from getting ganked by him and possibly dying. So now with the Dust Blade completed, we're going to head back to lane. We have our Q evolve, of course, because we completed our Dust Blade. And now Leona goes in with the stun. We can ult behind. We're going for the kill on Tristana. We do get the kill on her, but we know we're going to die to Xin Zhao. So I was actually trying to trade into Karma, who was lower HP and lower level than Xin Zhao. But unfortunately, we do end up dying to Xin Zhao, and we do give over a shutdown. Unfortunately, also, I failed to pan my camera because I was distracted as I was recording the gameplay, and as a result we kind of missed out on seeing the double kill that Leona got. So overall we technically traded 2 for 3, and 2 kills went to Leona, which is fine. So overall it kind of is a disaster for the enemy team. I mean, the enemy support has more gold than everyone on their team, including the Xin Zhao, who's just slightly behind her. Now if that isn't a disaster, I don't know what is. So here I'm trying to run down the Tristana. I'm just trying to have fun running down the Tristana here, but I end up flashing into the Karma route and I get rooted myself, and I actually end up almost dying because of the pure damage that Karma and Tristana does. Remember that Karma is one of the strongest supports in the game, and Tristana is a really strong early game ADC as well. So I'm just getting way too cocky over here and just randomly flashing in on them when I obviously shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, so here we are going to just clear up the wave, and we probably don't want to be playing so aggressively anymore. I say that, but Tristana, I don't know what she's doing. She eats a full combo from me and Leona, and now she's on the run. Unfortunately, I can't quite reach her, so I'm going to give up on the chase. I'm going to decide to go for some tower plates instead. Leona is sort of just waiting there. It does catch out Karma, but I'm not too interested in the Karma. I'm just trying to get some plates. So we do get that, and we can see Xin Zhao on the bot side of the map, so it's pretty safe for us to be here. Here we are able to get the kill onto the Karma. Fiddlesticks ults in on the Karma, who was basically already dead, so it's kind of a waste. Although if he didn't do that, I'm not sure if I die. Now, the only reason I don't die to Ezreal out here is actually because I stopped walking back and I just recalled on the spot. Really good timing on the Ezreal ult to predict where I would be, because I would actually be at the spot that he ulted. It's just that I stopped walking to recall. So really lucky decision that I made there. Obviously, that was not really intentional to avoid Ezreal. It was just that I decided that I could just recall next to the enemy tower because no one was actually going to stop me, and no one actually did. So here we're just going to continue getting the minion waves. Leona's coming in from the flank, goes in with the ulti. I'm able to burst down the Karma. Karma is really low, so I'm just going to ult in, finish off the Karma first, and then go for the Tristana, who is I thought would be dead, but her exhaust actually saves her. And once again, the Tristana survives on 1 HP, which is a little bit annoying. But instead, now we're having a huge numbers advantage in the team fight in the river. We finish off the Ezreal. Now we're gonna focus the Shen. Shen really tanky, but he can't really survive against 4 people. There's no way he can escape, so he ends up dying as well. And now we are going to push in the minion wave, being sure to let Leona proc her fully charged Spectral Sickle here. Xin Zhao actually comes over and actually just one-shots me. Now, I did know he was there, and my theory was if he jumps in on us, we can 2v1 him with the help of Leona, but I did not expect him to just one-shot me then. Now, honestly, I think Xin Zhao might be a little bit stronger than I expected. Now, honestly, he got buffed a couple of patches ago, and I really didn't think he was that strong. But honestly, after playing him for quite a number of matches, I actually do think Xin Zhao is pretty strong. I think he's a lot stronger than I give him credit for. Like, with one lethality item, like in this case, he has his Ghost Blade. Wow, Xin Zhao does a lot of damage, boys. Like, it's pretty ridiculous from where I'm standing, but Xin Zhao does do a lot of damage, so we have to really, really watch out for him. He has more gold than us, and he's like really, really fed. He's 8k gold, most gold in the game, and I have like 6, almost 7k gold just from farming the enemy champions. Like, I have like so much more gold, and like, I have basically as much gold as like 2 of them combined. If you, anyone other than Xin Zhao on their team, pretty much about as much gold as that. But Xin Zhao is so fed. He's 5'2" and 1 only, but he does of course have a lot of gold from like things like tower plates and stuff. Here you can see we're at the point where we one-shot Karma just instantly. That's kind of the point we want to get at for basically doing to anybody in the game. Of course, except for maybe someone like Shen. We can never really one-shot a Shen, like a full tank. So here, Ezreal is back in bot lane, and Fiddlesticks is pinging that he's on the way. Now, I'm not quite sure what the plan is here. Are we going to dive him? Looks like we are going to dive him. He actually is almost fully stacked up. I think if I actually hit that one last auto, he might have actually died, because popping the stack plus get one last auto damage could actually be the recipe for success here. Fiddlesticks gets in a decent ulti. We are able to finish off the Karma. I'm trying to snipe down the Ezreal, but Ezreal doesn't blink away like I expected him to, so we end up just missing completely. And now we can actually reset to get ourselves the Slurry Charge Blade, so we're going to do exactly that. And complete our Charge Blade, get the E Evolve. Now, of course, with Kai'Sa, you always want to go Q, E, then W Evolve. Even when you're going AP, now I kind of just prefer to go Q, E, W regardless of what build I'm going. I think that the value you get from E Evolve is a lot higher than W Evolve. So I always go for E Evolve. Here I'm just going to pick up the blue buff since Ziggs is on the other side of the map and he likely won't be able to get it. And here now it's really just trying to get as fed as possible, and now really our goal is to kill Xin Zhao. Like, honestly, at this point, Tristana and Ezreal are so far behind, and Karma as well. They're so far behind there really aren't very big threats. The main threat here is Xin Zhao. Like, Xin Zhao is a problem. We need to kill him. Speaking of kill, Tristana looks like she's about to overextend big time. We're running all the way there. The Fiddlesticks goes in with the ulti. Leona goes in with the ulti as well. We're just going to quickly finish off. You can see basically the combo there. The QW auto combo just instantly kills her and procs all of the stacks. Just instantly basically just one-shots her. So we can see Shen and we can see Xin Zhao on the opposite side of the map. So we know that they're in bot. So here we have 2 choices. Either we can push top or we can try to make a play on Ezreal. Now here we're actually trying to make a play on Ezreal. Not very successful. But we are able to get the entire minion wave, and we might be able to even push with the next minion wave. Now Xin Zhao getting some kills, but eventually does get shut down by the Yone. So here, since Karma has come, we decide to basically just kind of back off. Now, if they chase us, we can turn because they don't have a tower anymore. Tristana is actually behind them, so we don't really want to go in on them. But if they go in on us, we might be able to actually turn and get a kill here. So here I just kind of, not really baiting, but just kind of like getting them to walk up. So they do actually walk up. Flash goes in with the Leona, and we are able to finish off the Tristana quickly. I have a choice between going for Ezreal or Karma, and I decided to just go for Karma, who is the easier pushing the kill because Ezreal can just hop over the wall like what he did right there. But Ezreal gets caught by Leona again, and we get the kill on him anyway, so I guess it just works out. We get all three of them one way or the other. Xin Zhao jumps in, trying to one-shot me again. This time he actually fails the one-shot, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to run. And I think that Leona's probably dead here because Shen ulted in, and I think Shen is gonna CC Leona, and Leona's probably gonna die. But honestly, at this point, with me being 13-2, it's better that Leona dies than I die because I'm gonna give another huge shutdown to Xin Zhao, and we don't want that because Xin Zhao is the most fed member on their team. He's 1k gold up on me, and my job in this game is to kill Xin Zhao. I have more gold. I have like basically the same goal as like Tristana and Ezreal combined now. So really the only person that's a problem is the Xin Zhao. We need to kill him because he does too much damage, and he is also really tanky with his ulti because we can't damage him. So we know they're on our blue buff. So I'm just hovering. I check the bush that there's no one there just because I don't want to get caught when I'm walking by here. And unfortunately Fiddlesticks is a little bit too slow, so we don't quite get him. But we do want to find an opportunity to get the kill on Xin Zhao if possible. Ideally, that's when I'm not being focused by him. Now here Tristana gets caught. I actually ult over it and to try to finish the kill. But honestly, I think it's like a waste of my ult. Like, she is dead regardless. No real point to waste my ult here. Probably should save it for Xin Zhao. Here I have my blaster completed. So I have the full burst combo ready to go with all three burst items ready. Unfortunately, I don't quite burst on Ezreal because I missed the W. But yeah, Xin Zhao is running just straight at us. He has first strike, so really dangerous to get, you know, bursted down by him. So we have to be really, really cautious that we're not the one he engages on, because if that's the case, we are going to be in trouble. You can see we're posturing back a little bit. I'm trying to remove his first strike. I hit Ezreal instead by accident, because he does move aside. And here you can see him doing the Raptors, and here I'm trying to actually catch him out with Leona. Leona gets the slow on him, almost gets the stun, and he actually pops the ult, which is really intelligent, because with the ulti, me, Ziggs, and Fiddlesticks basically can't damage him because we're all ranged champions. So even if Leona engages, she probably would just die to tower. So, you know, we are not able to catch him out. However, we did blow both his flash and his ult, and this being the case, we're actually able to get a free Baron because his team can't stop us, and he went back to base because he obviously, you know, needs to reset to get items, and he doesn't have flash and ult. So we get a free Baron, and we're trying to see what we can do with it. Shun is on the split push. Fiddlesticks is using his ulti trying to chase. Doesn't quite get anybody. I get the hit onto Karma. I ult in, trying to kill Karma and Ezreal. I get the kill on Ezreal. I don't get the kill on Ezreal. I flash forward to get the kill on Ezreal. Xin Zhao gets the kill on me in return. Unfortunately, I did not know he was there, and I gave Xin Zhao a shutdown, which is really not ideal. Flashing for the Ezreal, probably not worth it. He's probably not worth that much. Not worth as much as me at least, so poor decision on my part. Fiddlesticks and Leona now trying to two-man the enemy team, all during which time Yone is busy getting the inhibitor. So he does get an inhibitor, and he could possibly end on a split push if Tristana was not there. But Tristana is there, so she's going to stop him. And here Leona and Fiddlesticks are not really going to be able to make it out. So they do end up going down. And Yone is now trying to make it out himself, and he's getting cut off by Shen. And he can see Shen is nearby, just basically the stack heart still is stacking up. And Shen actually just runs away from him instead. He goes in onto the Shen and the Ezreal. Nothing too much happens because Yone, of course, does have his ghost and he's completely safe. And now I'm back up and alive, and I'm going to start farming the minions and trying to push in. Baron, of course, is still active because obviously, even if you die, you still have Baron buff. So honestly, I just think that that's pretty broken as a mechanic in general. Now here, I'm trying to bait Xin Zhao by attacking the Crux because I can see my Ziggs and Yone are behind me, but he doesn't actually take the bait. He actually goes elsewhere on the map instead. So we don't get the bait on him, and he doesn't really fall for the bait is probably what I was trying to say here. He does have a really interesting build. He has a collector now, and I'm not quite sure why he needs a collector, but yeah, so here, Leona is 2v1ing the enemy bot lane, but they're so behind that they can't even get close to killing her. I'm just ulting in, one-shotting the Tristana, now just basically one-shotting the Karma as well. Couple autos, takes them down. Pushing in the bomb wave. Of course, we do already have the inhibitor here, so by pushing it in, it's going to create a lot of pressure for the enemy team, and they're going to have to respond to it. In the meantime, we're going to be rotating mid. Xin Zhao's whole team is just dying all around the map, and I really kind of feel for the Xin Zhao. He's trying his best to carry his team, which are all dead weight, honestly, at this point. he has like pretty much as much gold as his 2 ADCs combined, which is pretty tragic. Now here we're gonna do the dragon. This is gonna be Infernal Dragon Soul if we get it, which at this point doesn't quite look like Xin Zhao is gonna really come here to steal. So we do get Infernal Dragon Soul, and we have like 4 full items completed. At this point, we're gonna actually get a stasis, because the main problem here is getting one shot by Xin Zhao. So by getting the stasis, we can kind of try to prevent that. If he jumps in on us, we can pop the stasis, and hopefully let our team deal with him while we're in the stasis. So here, Baron is 20 seconds from spawning, and my team is going ham on the enemy team. I'm trying to get in range to ult. I ulti in, finish off the Karma, and I flash forward to try to chase the Shen. Fiddlesticks gets the fear onto him. We're just blasting him down. We get the kill on him, blasting down the Ezreal as well. We pick up a triple. And the whole enemy team is dead for like at least another 30 seconds other than Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao kind of gets caught here. We pick up the quadra kill onto the Xin Zhao. Unfortunately, no Penta because Tristana was already dead way before. And we are going to be able to get the win here because no one on the enemy team is left alive to really stop us. So I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this new juicy Kai'Sa build. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.
Victory!